Good morning, boys and girls. We already made it to Wednesday, so the week's almost done. Today, we're continuing our journey with ratios again, and we're going to be comparing unit rates, all right? So what's today is March 25th, 2020, all right? So I'm looking at a table, and I'm looking at a graph. So Victor wants to find out what car he should buy. So he's going to compare the miles per gallon, right? So again, unit rate per. What we're looking for all the time is how much per 1 gallon, okay? So I'm going to check out my two vehicles that they're giving me. I'm giving the Legend and the Supreme. I'm going to show you what to do with that. And then for number 2, you're going to have to compare also the Lunar. But that one's all for you, all right? I'm going to show you our vehicle 1 Legend, all right? So I'm comparing gallons of gas and number of miles. I'm going to start my table of gas to number of miles, right? So I know that I'm leaving a spot for 1 because I have to find out per gallon. So I could just start my table here. I'm not going to write every single number in the table because I can get from 4 to 1 with ease, right? So let's ask ourselves, how do we get from 4 to 1 in our table? Well, we can't go forwards because 4 times anything isn't 1, so we got to divide. And what do I divide 4 by to get to 1? Well, I hear all of you telling me it's 4. All right? So what I do to the top, I do to the bottom, dividing 72 by 4. Okay? So let's set it up. 72 goes in ones. It's 4. We do our little subtraction. We bring down the 2, and that's 18. Okay? So for our Legend, we get 18 miles per gallon. All right? Now I'm going to check out my Supreme. We're going to compare 2 different vehicles. So I'm going to look at the Supreme. Now, this is a graph here. So remember, the X is right here, and the Y is right here, right? So the X stands for our gallons, and the Y stands for our number of miles. So if you look, I'm going to pick this one. So I get 3 gallons of gas per every 50 miles, all right? So let's take a look. Now I'm just going to create a new table. Gallons and number of miles. So I get 3 gallons for 50 miles. And this one's not going to be as smooth because you know 3 doesn't go into 50. So again, I'm looking for 1. So how do I get from 3 to 1? I divide by 3, and I do the same to the bottom, right? So now I'm doing 3 into 50. Let's see what happens. This goes once, right? We come back here. Don't forget, you always check. Check how many times the outside number goes into the inside, right? So now I multiply back. I get 2. All right? Now I got to find out how many times. No, I bring down my 0. I apologize. All right, how many times 3 goes into 20? I know that's 6. All right? And then we multiply back. It's 18. And we get 2. All right, and it looks like we're going to get a decimal. So our Supreme car gets 16.6 miles per gallon, right? So what's the better buy? Who can get further, the Legend or the Supreme? And clearly this car was named after me because if you chose the Legend, then yes, you are correct. All right? Now number 2 is asking you to do the same thing. You just have to find the unit rate for the Lunar and then compare the 3 of them, okay? If you have any questions, just put them up in our Google class. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.